we're heartbroken that something like this might have happened again. But for now, I would just hope that everybody across the country is keeping the families and the community of Fort Hood in our thoughts and in our prayers.
Right now at 4:30, the nation is grieving once again this morning after a shooting at Fort Hood. What may have triggered the shooter to kill at least 3 people and then take his own life? We're going to have a live report from the Army base. The news at 4:30 starts right now. Good morning, everyone, at 4:30. Thanks so much for joining us at this hour. 5 years after the Texas Army base became a crime scene, it has happened again.
This time, 4 people are dead and 16 others are hurt. Here's what we know. The shooter has been identified as Specialist Ivan Lopez, and he is among the dead after authorities said he committed suicide. Lopez served in Iraq for 4 months in 2011, had sought help for depression, anxiety, and other problems. The injured were taken to the base hospital and other local hospitals. At least 3 of the 9 patients at Scott and White Hospital in Temple were listed in critical condition. There is no indication the shooting was related to terrorism.
Well, military officials say the gunman, Ivan Lopez, was under diagnosis for PTSD.
And officials there are trying to unravel exactly what happened to spark this terrible tragedy. Our own Hillary Whittier is there at Fort Hood with the latest. Hillary.
Well, Rita and Michelle, you said it correctly. We're learning more about the gunman himself, namely that he was serving in Iraq for about 4 months in 2011. Of course, the question now is, did that time in Iraq lead to PTSD? That's what we're trying to unravel, and that is what several press conferences and officials spoke about yesterday, is his mental state and how much that affected him shooting and killing 3 other soldiers yesterday. And we are learning more about the people in the hospital to the victims who were shot and injured and how they are being treated right now. None of the 16 that we heard were injured yesterday have been announced dead today. Obviously, that's good news, but as to how their injuries are at this moment, that is the big question. We want to take you back to yesterday during a press conference with medical officials and what they had to say about how they're treating those injuries.
We've been treating ranging from gunshot wounds that involved extremities, abdomen, chest, and neck.
And back to the shooting itself, the motive is the biggest question. That's the one that lingers for all of us out here trying to figure out exactly why Ivan Lopez did this yesterday, what caused him to do it, and how much did his mental state of possibly having PTSD affect his life and his attitude yesterday. Now, we are diving into all of these questions. We're hoping to find out more. But for right now, back to you ladies in the studio.
You know, Hillary, can you talk about that, more of his mental state? Because we know he sought help for that anxiety and the stress that he must have undergone. We understand he also suffered some sort of head injury back in Iraq back in 2011, and that's, you know, quite possibly why he sought help. But it's not clear. So he was not officially diagnosed with PTSD, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Lieutenant General Mark Milley yesterday said there was no official diagnosis. That's why they're searching, seeing if there is any data saying and leading up to his possible PTSD diagnosis that could have happened in the future. But right now, Mark Milley just said he was, quote, under mental distress and he had mental issues going on at the time. But right now, that's really about all that we know. But we do know there was something obviously not good that was going on.
You know, Hillary, just to give us more perspective of who this person was, Ivan Lopez, does he have a family? Was the family living on base as well?
Well, we are certainly searching into that. Authorities are a little bit slower this morning releasing information because of these early hours, and most of us were up late last night trying to answer those questions. We are hoping to talk with more authorities today and learn more about the shooter himself. We don't know much about him other than that he was a specialist, served in Iraq, and may have PTSD, but for that, that's about it right now, but we will know more in the next couple of hours.
Yeah, and that he sought help for that anxiety and stress. Hillary Whittier, we'll see you later this morning. Thank you. Well, as always, stay with Fox 26 Morning News. We'll update you with the very latest information from Fort Hood as all that information becomes available.